What is up, YouTube? This is your boy Juggernaut097 bringing guys another video today, and today I'm going to be doing my TNA Impact review for May 29th, 2015. And this show was called, like, the title of this was Mayhem, like, of the show. And yes, I know this is a late review. Like, I was going to be doing this on Saturday, but I was busy on Saturday. But you know what? Now I'm going to be doing this review for you guys right now. So yeah. And today is like June 1st, so yeah, sorry about doing this late review, but finally I'm back here to do reviews for Impact Wrestling. This show was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it for the most part. There were some things that I didn't really like, but for the most part I liked it. But nonetheless, let's get started with this review. So, first off, it showed Eric Young driving to Orlando studio, and then there was a cameraman in the back, like just a random cameraman in the back, like they showed him in the back, which I don't know why they had to show, the cameraman in the back, maybe cameramen go with everybody. Crazy. But, he pretty much says that he's not going to quit the Kurt Angle tonight, and, he says that he's going to get the world title, and then he goes like, wait, is that Kurt Angle outside the arena? And he was like, Kurt Angle's waiting for me. He was like, I'm going to go beat him up, and so, when um, Eric Young gets to the arena, Kurt Angle tries to pull him out of the car, but he can't. But then Eric Young gets out of the car and they start fighting, and then security has to come and break them up. And then later on during the night, they have to keep them separate so they won't fight each other anymore, so they can be ready for the match. And yeah, so it was that segment. And then, so for the first match of the night, we had with the Knockouts title match in a steel cage match, Taryn Terrell with the Dollhouse versus Gail Kim. This was actually a pretty decent match, for what it was, with all, with the Dollhouse getting involved during this match, I don't really like that, but, with all the big camera holes you can grab, put people through. But, I mean, this wasn't a bad match. Gail just went right after Taryn Terrell, and she went outside the cage and then dragged Taryn Terrell into the cage. Taryn Terrell tried to escape the cage early on, but Gail Kim would not let her. Jade used the camera hole to let Taryn Terrell get the advantage. The Dollhouse kept using the camera hold to, help Taryn Terrell to do, Taryn Terrell, she kept, trying to take off Gail Kim's ring, like her ring on her ring finger, and she kept trying to slam her arm on the cage during the match. Like I said, Taryn Terrell kept slamming her arm. Taryn Terrell did a good neck breaker on Gail Kim, and then Gail tried to escape the cage, but Jade and Marty Bell, they stopped her from escaping. They were climbing both on the top, which I hate when they do that in steel cage matches. Like when people try to interfere, that's why Hell in Cell type matches better. But that's just my opinion. Where was I? But Marty Bell shoves her back into the ring, and then Taryn Terrell wins by the cutter, so she is still your Knockouts champion. So yeah, give me a second. So after the match, the Dollhouse came to the ring. They beat up on her, and then Earl Hebner tried to stop it, but Taryn Terrell clotheslines Earl Hebner, and then Awesome Kong came out to help Gail Kim, but the Dollhouse, they lock the cage, so Awesome Kong can't get in the ring. And then Jade and Marty Bell beat up on Gail Kim again, and then Taryn Terrell gets on the mic. She says, I told you, you were nothing compared to me. Then Taryn Terrell took off her wedding ring and then put it in Taryn Terrell's mouth, and then she started stepping on her wedding finger. So yeah, that was that. Pretty good. I liked it. So I guess we'll see what happens with the Dollhouse. I'm liking what they've been doing with the Dollhouse. So yeah. And then next we had a segment with Mickie James. Mickie James, she comes up to the ring. She says, "As most of you know, I have agreed for one more match." Then she says, "I can't wait for that match." She says, "Can't wait to give everything she has and hopes to have one of the greatest matches of her career." Then she says, then she talks about, friendship. No. Then she talks about, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about friendships and family. As most of you know, Magnus is my fiance, but not, but he's not just my fiance. He is my best friend. He's the father of my child. Um, do 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 loves He's the love of my life, and James Storm has been a and then she starts talking about James Storm, how he's been a really good friend, like as long as she's ever known him. And then do do and then James Storm comes out, and then Mickie James says, she's sorry for what happened, for what Magnus did. And then James Storm was like, "You don't have to be apologizing to me. If I was," James Storm says, "You don't have to apologize to me, because if I was Magnus, I would have done the same thing." And he goes like, "Hey man, I was just trying to be a nice guy." And he goes like, "Hey, if holding the door up for a woman, or saying yes ma'am to a woman is bad, then I'm a bad man." And the crowd started chanting, "You're a bad man," which I thought that was funny. But then James Storm goes like, "You know what? I got something big for you. Like, if you don't want to agree to this, you don't have to." Like, and hold on, give me a second. I forgot the people who they were. So hold on. But they start talking about her music career. Like, he was like, "This is big time with Faith Hill." Like, who else? Like, with all those big country singers. And James Storm gets out of the ring then, and then Mickie James says, "I agree to," and she goes like, "See me in Nashville," and stuff. So yeah, that was that. Nothing else too much happened with that. So yeah. And then next we had was it showed Kurt Angle and Eric Young in separate rooms to keep them from going after each other. And yeah, and then Eric Young, he showed a tweet, and he smashed his head on the glass. So yeah. And then next match we had was an X Division Gauntlet match for the X Division Championship. And this was pretty much a battle royal, but like at the end of the match, like when it came down to the final two people, it was pin or submission. So yeah, but Manic and Mandrews, they start the match. But no, here's the people who was in the match: Manic versus Mandrews versus DJZ versus Kenny King versus Tiger Uno versus Ar- Argos versus Crazy Steve versus Rockstar Spud. Manic and Rockstar Spud actually start the match. Sorry about that. But like I said, Manic and Rockstar Spud start the match. Then DJZ came out. Spud and DJZ kept throwing punches at Manic. Then Mandrews came out. Mandrews does a nice Hurricane Rana. Mandrews and Spud work together on Manic. Then Argos came out. Mandrews went on the top rope and tried going for a shooting star, but Manic rammed Spud into the ring post, and Spud. No, sorry. Mandrews got rammed into the ring post, and so Mandrews got eliminated. Then Crazy Steve came out, and then Tiger Uno got eliminated by Manic when they came back from commercial break, which I don't really know how he got eliminated by, when they came back from commercial break, but I know Manic eliminated him. And then Kenny King came out. He was the last last guy to come out, and he was just throwing kicks on everybody. He was just throwing roundhouse kicks on everyone. And then Kenny King did a nice cradle suplex on DJZ. Then Crazy Steve got eliminated by a super by a super kick. And then Argos got eliminated when Kenny King does a drop kick, and Argos went off the top rope and goes to and he drops to the floor. Then Kenny King um, tried to eliminate DJ. No, they tried to eliminate DJZ over the top rope, but DJZ is eliminated. Then Manic is eliminated by Rockstar Spud when how did he get eliminated? Damn it! Oh yeah, now I remember. Kenny King pushes Manic, and then Rockstar Spud lowers the rope down, so Manic is eliminated. And the final two came down to Kenny King and Rockstar Spud. Okay, and then Kenny King, but Rockstar Spud won the match. How did he win? Did he? I think he won by roll up. Yeah, so it came down to Rockstar Spud, and Rockstar Spud rolled Kenny King up, and he's your new X Division champion. So, and then Kenny King during the match, he kept targeting Spud's arm, and Spud, rolled King up for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, new X Division champion Rockstar Spud. So yeah, pretty good match. I liked it. And then the next match we had was match 2 of the best of 5 for the tag team championships. The Dirty Heels versus the Wolves. Amazing match, probably the best match in my opinion. Really fast-paced action. Davey Richards and I don't know what that was. Sorry, but Davey Richards and Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards and versus Bobby Roode and Austin Aries. These matches are great. I love these matches. This was a awesome match. I kind of like this match better than the first match in my opinion, but both matches are really good. But the winners of the match were not the Dirty Heels, the Wolves. They're up 2-0 during this match. So first off, when the Wolves are doing the entrance, Austin Aries, I think he did a suicide dive on Eddie Edwards. And then Bobby Roode and Davey Richards, they started the match. Then Davey does a suicide dive on Austin Aries then. Then Eddie Edwards gets into the ring and tries to roll up Bobby Roode. But then the Wolves start, double teaming Roode and they start chopping him in the corner. And then kicks him in the corner. I like when they pretty much do their double team moves. They are really good working together. They are so fast paced action. Sometimes it's hard to remember which one which, but now I can remember which one's which. So Davey is the one with the tattoo, and Eddie's the skinnier one. That's how I can remember them now. But the ending comes to the match when the Wolves I can't remember the powerbomb into a knees to the back. So I think they pinned Austin Aries if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember that right now, but I think that's who they pinned to win. But this was very good. During the match, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, they had on their finishers. They had on the Last Chancery. Austin Aries had on the Last Chancery, and Bobby had on the the crossface, and this was very fast-paced action. Like I said, a lot of double team moves, really fun. Best match of the night. But yeah, moving on here. And then next match Then next we have it showed Angelina Love backstage. Then she was getting interviewed. Asked, did she know if Velvet Sky was here? And she was like, yeah, I know Velvet Sky is here. And she said that I saw her. He was like, I don't know why she is here, because she's fired, but seeing as she can't stop following me around everywhere I go, I'm just going to handle this situation by myself right now. And then Kenny King then comes back from commercial break. Then it shows Kenny King backstage on the phone and says, this message is for Montel Vontavious Porter. This is the third message I left you I don't know where you are. I don't know where the hell you are, but I know you're live, man. I need you to call me back. It is going down over here. So yeah. And then next Angelina Love comes out to the ring. She confronts Velvet Sky. She says that she calls her dumb, and she goes like, I bet you want to hit me, but you can't because these security guards, like she called out her friends, and she said that, um, if you hit me, these guys will beat you, probably arrest you or beat you up, take you out of here, drag you out of this arena. And she was like, I dare you to hit me, and she was like, yeah, that's right, you won't hit me. And then um, when and she was like, let's get out here, boys. And then when Angelina Love turned around, Velvet Sky jumped over the barricade, and then uh, Velvet Sky beat up Angelina Love, and then the security guards tried to take Velvet Sky, but Velvet Sky, she low blows one of the security guards, and this was Angelina Love's own personal security. And but finally, the security guards they handcuffed not Angelina Love, they handcuffed Velvet Sky, and then she was like, "Come on, try to get me, Velvet." And she was like, "You're stupid because you're handcuffed." And and Angelina goes like, "Get her out of here, get her out of here now." And so yeah, I guess we'll see what happens next week with Velvet Sky and Angelina Love. I'm actually really getting into this. Excited to see what happens with this. But then next match we had was Mr. Anderson. Well, no, it showed Mr. Anderson backstage. He was like, you know what? It's always been Mr. Anderson versus EC3 with Tyrus. Tyrus. Well, that changes tonight because my buddies have been working on this structure for weeks, and I'm excited to introduce Tyrus and the rest of the world. And then he unveils what it is, and it was a cage. He was like, he was like, "Welcome to your new home, Tyrus." And he says, and it was a cage, like I said. And then Anderson says that this sucker is solid. And then next match we had was EC3 versus Mr. Anderson with Tyrus. And EC3 got on the mic before the match, and he says that Tyrus isn't going to get in that cage, without a fight. He's not going to get in it. He's not a rat. And then Mr. Anderson comes out, and before the match, he tries to go after Tyrus, but Tyrus Tyrus refuses to get in the cage, and then EC3 blindsides Mr. Anderson, and then they get back into the ring, and then EC3 had complete control over Mr. Anderson during the match, but then finally later on during the match, Mr. Anderson, he gets outside the ring, and he goes to get a steel chair, and he uses the steel chair to get Tyrus into the cage. So Tyrus was no longer a threat in this match, so that was good. But then now it was just a one-on-one match with both of them, so that was good. And then they were so during the match, Mr. Anderson hits 2 mic checks, and then EC3 kicks out of them. Anderson was going for a 3rd mic check then, and then EC3 counters that into the 1%er, and so EC3 is still undefeated. He wins the match by the 1%er, and after the match, Mr. Anderson offers to shake EC3's hand, but EC3 slaps his hand away, and then so yeah, that was that, and so EC3 won this match. It could have been a little better, I'm happy, they had that cage out there, because I wanted to just see a one-on-one match with them. I was tired of Tyrus actually getting involved, so that was good. They had a cage, but yeah. And then the main event was the World Heavyweight title match. It was an I Quit match. Kurt Angle versus Eric Young. And security came out with both men before the match, before the match got started. And then while JB, Jeremy Borash was doing the introductions, when he was trying to do Kurt Angle's name, Kurt Angle, he just went right after. He just went right after EY, and then the security guards had to separate him again, and then the referee finally rang the bell. And this wasn't. I wasn't really into this match. I thought this match could have been better. I thought they could have used more, weapons during this match. They didn't use very much weapons at all during this match. But Angle, he did a lot of German suplexes. He did like 5 German suplexes, and they were still locked in. And then he did more German suplexes. He was just looked like Brock Lesnar, man. Suplex City. Suplex City. I mean, that's what it looked like right now. But, yeah, he just was doing a whole bunch of suplexes. And then, Eric Young, then he tried to do the Angle slam on Angle. Then Angle then landed on his head awkwardly, like landed on his face, weird. But then EY locks in the ankle lock on Angle, but Angle says no, he doesn't quit. And then he locks it in even tighter. He wraps his leg around Angle while he had the Angle lock in. And then Angle actually finally reverses the pressure, and he tightens he wraps his legs around Eric Young ankles or something. I don't remember how that worked really, but then Angle finally countered it. Finally got out of there, and he put in his own ankle lock of himself. His own. There's a lot of ankle locks in this, but EY taps out, but then Angle lets go of the ankle lock, and then Brian Hebner says no, he has to quit. So then Eric Young low blows Angle, and then he gave him a pile driver, and then Angle said no, he doesn't quit, and then EC3 got EC3. What the fuck? I'm sorry. There's just a lot of E's in this. Eric Young then got on the mic and said, if you don't want me to break your neck, then quit. And then Angle said, kiss my ass, and then he wanted to go for an air pile driver, but Angle reversed that into like a sunset flip type of thing, and then does an ankle lock on EY, and EY says, I quit. So yeah, Angle is still your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, this was a pretty good match. I liked it. Like I said, I thought they could have used more weapons during this match. And sorry for all the, miscommunications. Sorry for saying different names. But yeah, next week, this week, tomorrow, Impact is going to be on Wednesday. So guess we'll see what happens with that. So I'll be doing my reviews for Impact on. I'll be doing it on Tuesdays now. Not Tuesdays, Thursdays. Sorry about that. And I'll still be doing my NXT reviews on Wednesdays, so stay tuned for that. So I'll be doing my NXT review tomorrow, Wednesday. And yeah, that's about it. And next week, not next week, this week on Impact, they'll be doing the third match of the Best of 5 series for the TNA Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Wolves versus the Dirty Hills, which that match is going to be good. Hopefully, Dirty Hills actually finally pick up the victory. But yeah, that was about it, guys. And as you can see, I'm in a different location right now. I got me a desk in my room, so yeah. And I'm going to get me a better camera soon, one of these days. So, and I might start doing my reviews on Google Hangout. See how that works out. And I'm probably going to be getting me a better microphone soon also. But, this is Juggernaut saying peace out, Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB, and I'm going to get my Elimination Chamber review up for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And next week I'm going to be doing my Money in the Bank predictions, because Money in the Bank is next Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Next week, the 14th? Yeah, it is the 14th next week. Jeez, that's crazy. But, yeah. That's about it, guys. I guess I'll catch you guys in my next video. So, peace out. Catch you guys in my next video.